The Mystara project is proud to present Part 30 of the Lore of Mystara series. In this video, we take a look at the period from AC 1 to AC 50. By AC 1, Sind had fragmented into a number of mumlikets, whose Chumbahara rulers squabbled with each other over increasingly unproductive land. The Rishya clerical caste grew in power and popularity as they preached perseverance and offered hope of a better future via correct reverence of the immortals and competent performance of people's daily duties. Yav emerges in AC 1 via the time travel artifact from BC 399 to discover that his precepts were not enough to prevent the corruption of the ruling seers. He tried to go back in time to undo the corruption, but found this power didn't work. Yav placed his hand on the artifact and used all his power to search through time to find a way to stop the evil effects of the machine. After just holding on to his sanity, Yav discovered that a vital piece of the artifact was lost during an earthquake, which buried it deep in the Earth's crust. Using magic, Yav traveled deep underground and retrieved the piece. However, when he returned to Yavdlam, the artifact had now robbed the people of all ambition, and they had reverted to tribal society. Yav once again returned to the artifact. He repaired the missing piece, which localized the apathetic side effect of the device. Satisfied with his efforts, he collapsed the cavern of the artifact. However, he now found himself in the year AC 750 due to his tampering of the artifact. In AC 2, Emperor Zendrolian Tatriokanitas of Thyatis ordered the construction of Redstone Castle on the Isle of Dawn to protect Thyatan territory from the Alphatians. In AC 5, construction of Redstone Castle was completed. Sometime between AC 5 and AC 520, Skolda was emancipated from the Thyatan military, where he served as a captain of the guard and learned Thyatan military culture. He then headed to the southeastern Broken Lands. There he founded the Kobold Horde of Kol, which battled with the other Kobold hordes and adopted many aspects of Thyatan culture. In AC 9, the gnomes working on the Flying City project sent a delegation, who approached an embattled clan of refugee Fenair. They offered sanctuary in their hidden valley for the Fenairs to escape their powerful enemy. In return, the gnomes sought Windsong assistance for their project. The Fenair began carefully considering the proposal. In AC 10, Emperor Zendrolian of Thyatis ordered a naval base to be built to the east, on the western coast of a broad glassy sheltered bay, which opens out into the widening part of Vanyar's girdle. He named it Port Lusinius, in honor of his poor, doomed, noble friend, Lusinius Trenzantenbium. Around AC 10, 5 Lupin tribes regrouped on the south-central plains of the Savage Coast, after previously being scattered by Yazak humanoids. The 5 tribes formed an alliance to defend these lands against the Yazak humanoids, founding the state of Rana D. In AC 12, Thyatians established the trading station of Cape Alpha, on the Great Bay in Norvold. This contravened the Treaty of Edireo, which prohibited Alphatian and Thyatan involvement in Norvold. Sometime between AC 12 and AC 15, the refugee Fenair finally agreed to assist the Flying City project of the gnomes, in exchange for refuge from a powerful enemy. A Windsinger summoned air elementals via the Song of the Whirlwind, to ensure a smooth passage of air into the Flying City's ducts. Previous attempts at using air elementals for the project had failed, as the elementals were too unpredictable and dangerous. In AC 15, Alphatia hired reavers from the northern reaches to destroy Cape Alpha. The Thyatians did not rebuild the trading station there. In AC 16, levitation tests were successfully conducted on the Flying City. Construction of the Flying City superstructure quickly progressed, and construction of the Great Library commenced. Sometime between AC 16 and AC 38, the gnomes began improving the defenses of their Flying City. First, they hired a group of Pegator mercenaries. Next, the gnomes hired the ingenious archmage, Akak, to build magical weapon batteries on the leading edge of the city. He designed and successfully trialed what became known as Akak guns, able to fire lightning bolts, fireballs, and magic missiles via superwands. The guns are fired by dual-key ignition, to prevent accidental firing. However, a group of secretive Norgpar decided to permanently silence Akak, soon after his guns were proven to work, fearing he might betray the existence of the Sky City project to the outside world. Next, The gnomes started developing flying machines to defend the city from a distance, as they found flying mounts too unreliable. This led to the establishment of the top ballista flying academy to train fighter pilots. Finally, 2 astronomer wizards, fleeing a scream of harpies, entered the gnomes' hidden valley in the Altan Tepes. The pursuit came to an abrupt halt, as the intruders realized they had stumbled into gnomish territory. A parley resulted in the wizards agreeing to join the flying city, to assist its defenses with their mastery of aerial magic, and the harpies agreed to join, to supplement the fighter pilots, by charming enemies at a distance. The gnomes were now satisfied with the flying city's defenses. Sometime between AC 16 and AC 950, disputes between Alphatia and Thyatis over treaty transgressions led to the trial of Norvold. At the trial, Archduke Dugald of Westrork's testimony accused Alphatia of first breaking the Treaty of Edir by constructing a trading post on Cape Alpha. This obvious fabrication enraged the Alphatians, and eventually led to the Bog War of the north-central Isle of Dawn between the two empires. In AC 20, Emperor Zendrolian Tatriocanitas of Thyatis died of natural causes. He was succeeded by his widow, Empress Valentia Tatriocanitas, the mortal identity of Terastia, a mage and half-sister of Licinius Trenzantenbium. Valentia immediately sought to stop the armed rebellions in the subject territories, and to gain their loyalty. Subject nations were required to send young nobles for education in Thyatis city, so they could act as hostages to ensure loyalty. Upon taking counsel from her advisors and the hostages, she made her citizens' proclamation, declaring all people of the Thyatian Empire to be citizens with equal rights to those of Thyatis city itself. Society was divided into 3 classes: nobles, citizens, and slaves. She established the Senate to give a voice to all regions of the empire. She established uniform imperial law. Empress Valentia in secret council promised to the Nuari son of the former king of the Pearl Islands that all Nuari would be welcomed to join the empire, as citizens of their own free will. The Nuari accepted her proposal. The reforms of Valentia slowly subdued the subject states' rebellions, and held the empire together. In AC 21, the Eastwind clan head, Ansel Darakin, had gained enough clan support in the Streel Plain to be able to create the kingdom of Darakin, with himself as king. The Eastwind seat was Favaro, however Ansel may have founded the village of Darakin at this time, based on the legend of Aurum. He started organizing a semi-competent military to deal with the orcs. Sometime between AC 21 and AC 999, Dorigar was born in Darakin. He became a craftsman, and also studied magic. He joined an adventuring party, but was the sole survivor of an ill-fated venture. Traumatized by the ordeal, Dorigar took on each personality of his 11 fallen companions, in addition to his own. Eventually, Dorigar undertook the path of the polymath in the sphere of matter, sponsored by Cagyar. He was reincarnated as a dwarf, then an Actean, and finally an elf. After questing for a sphere of matter artifact 3 times, building a 100-foot-tall monument to his 12 personas that stood for at least a decade, and advancing to become a 12th-level magic user and dwarf, a 19-hit dice Actean, and an attack rank D elf, he finally attained immortality, and has become known as the 12 Watchers, the patrons of craftsmen. Becoming immortal did not overcome his split personality trauma. His followers believe there are actually 12 different immortals, bound together by their complementary crafting skills. All cultures agree that 3 of the 12 are a smith, a miner, and a stonecarver, but the other 9 vary according to what crafts are practiced in each culture. Between AC 30 and AC 150, the Thyatian Senate grew in power through pressure, blackmail and murder, until it was the sole lawmaking body in the empire. On the 1st of Ambermont, AC 39, the flying city of Serene made a successful 10-minute flight. The next day, the city launched into the skies of Mystara, with 1,100 sky gnomes and their allied creatures. In AC 50, the Alphatian wizard Karubazanth attempted to create a race of assassin servitors, from wood imps and pixies. He called his creation cubits, but when he commanded them to act against their wishes, they rose up and killed him. Vanyar then transported them to the Hollow World, to save them from execution by the Alphatian authorities. This concludes Part 30 of the Lore of Mystara series, covering the first half-century of the modern era. A period of continued rivalry between the empires of Alphatia and Thyatis, Thyatan progressive reforms, and the successful launch of Mystara's first gnomish flying city.